Hey everybody, the Respiral here, and welcome to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Alright, let's hope this goes better. It didn't go badly or anything, it's just when I was playing it I was like, hang on, my volume's turned up to full and this game seems real quiet. So episode 1, Turnabout Memories, and it's because the audio was set to 20, because from when I was testing previously. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. How did I get into this mess? Ooh. And this actually... Technically this is a test? Why? Why did I do that? Purely because I'm recording this on the PC, as opposed to using the Wii U. And mainly because the compatibility on PC is much better than it is on the Wii U. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Ooh. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Zap. Oh no. Who is it? Bum, bum, bum! It wasn't me. I didn't... Oh my god, it's Phoenix! I didn't do it. Oh yeah, and this is really weird. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey. Second trial. Alright, so... April 11th, 9:40 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Ooh, I do like the music. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Who could that be? Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Ah, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right, this is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg, I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully too. I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean. What, and you've already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in that pink sweater over there? That's our client. Phoenix! Oh my god. You're such a dog. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say... I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. Oh wait, yeah, because I'm doing this on PC, I have access to like really cool features, but I can't remember them. I think it's one of the triggers activates speed up, and one of the triggers switches the screens. There it is! Yeah, see, it's really useful for certain games. So yeah, I've bound that to one of my controls, so then I can switch between perspectives, or switch between whichever screen is in focus, which is super useful for certain games, because, I don't know, some games have got it where you've got, like, the top screen is the focus, then it switches to the bottom screen for battles and stuff. Like, Dragon Quest is one of the ones that comes to mind. Anyway, that's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Whoosh. It's been 1 year since then, and, well, here I am again. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. Right, in we go. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. What the hell is that hairstyle? The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. His hair wiggles! Oh my god, that's the best. Well, well, well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash-talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. Sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Ooh. Okay, so I see a brolly, an exposed wire, and a corpse. Lovely. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, then they called the police. Or they then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Okay. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Ah, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. Oh my god. Grossberg, why do you mention your hemorrhoids? My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by touching the court record button. Or by pressing a button. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just touch the court record button here. Yeah, it's basically going to the autopsy report. Date and time of death. So, 3 PM, cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Now then, what would the attorney for the defense... Would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution! According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer of that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. He's not really a rookie killer, though. He kills no rookies. He gets beaten to death by every rookie he faces. He's crap. That's what Winston Payne is. He's just crap. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? Now, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir, into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, the evidence isn't the only thing in the court record, perhaps that people's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Alright, so go over to profiles. There it is! Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Prosecutor, he looks like a monkey. Grossberg, right. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Alright, boom. Take that! The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. The only issue I have faced so far with playing this, using PC emulation, is the, shouting. So, you get the prompt to either shout, take that, or objection, or hold it. And I had some serious issue trying to get it to register, because I've got it to actually use my microphone. So, the main reason is because at the end of the game, that it has an objection thing you have to shout, which is a bit of a pain, really. By the way, witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means, what did you do before you were arrested? Oh! I was a university student, Mr. Wright. You understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swat... But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Jesus. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his call to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Witness testimony! The victim and I. Oh, I like how this is sort of like a remix of the original. I think. Was it original? I can't remember. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Okay. Sheesh. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Whew. Looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? Oh my god. It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... this witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statement or statements will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now that there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. Oof. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? So I admit I was there. Yeah, it's like, if I try and do this, and just shout, oh, like all I have to do is talk. That's perfect, never mind. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Ash you! Anyway, Mr. Wright. What were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? I'm mostly curious if that's going to be the case for everything. Like, if I just hold it down and talk a bunch, will it just shout hold it for me? No. Oh man, I thought I was onto something, because it worked. Right, so if I say, hold it. I just... okay, it might not be that bad. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Sneezing fit? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Bum bum bum! Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock. That's a really bad pun. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Jesus! Would you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found his body. But I didn't do it. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna press every single time by shouting hold it, because I don't need to. Boosh! So you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here. You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me. Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who was this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. There we go. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Achoo! Well, Mr. Wright... no, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Dunk. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew that the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with that huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Is that in the photo? I don't see no Union Jack. Can I object? Objection! It does work. Okay. I was just far too, I don't know, I must have just shouted and not given it enough time to actually do the action. There must be a delay between the mic and the feedback. Because I was shouting, like, objection, and it wasn't registering, so I was shouting objection again. So it was constantly hearing me say stuff. Oh well. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honour, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Not sure what to make of the music yet. I like it. I don't think it's got like anything on the original though. Like that's just too good. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Oh my god. Oh dear. Here, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Yeah. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took the over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? I lost it. Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with this case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Oh. Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the... Wait, take a look at another photo from the crime scene. My goodness! What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X! Oh my god. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. Oh my god, his objection is just awful. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it. What? Uh-oh, this ain't looking good. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Oof. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. So we got a crime photo 2 and the Cold Killer X. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Ugh, broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids. Why? Why does he rant on about his hemorrhoids? I don't understand. It's not comedic, it's just like, what? What is happening? What really happened? You were lying. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock we split up. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Oh, dear. Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously. Achoo! Times 3. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Oh, goodness. Ba-ba-da-da-da. So what really happened? So you went because he called you. I was in the pharmacology department. Oh, he was in the pharmacology department. Okay. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IPVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. Had a whole laboratory and everything. It was full of chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Ho ho, how fascinating! He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. Time in the meeting. Yeah, the department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there are electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 we split up. Later I went back and I found him lying there. Taking Co-Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. He lost his bottle around lunchtime. Were you with anybody? On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelettes are magically delicious. Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh. No, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So, the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. Oh, there is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? With electricity. I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Establish murder method, or can't right now. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. Even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Yeah. That's the one where it shows the cable, isn't it? Yeah. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. But what? Oh, I have to point it out. There is nothing that even remotely resembles the murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? See, the cool thing about this is I could do this, and then now the touchscreen is in focus. Isn't that just the coolest? Boom. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor? Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Okay. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim toward the severed electrical cable. Damn! Order, order, order! That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. I swear. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. I was gonna say, what the fuck? Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? I do. Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth, so help you. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. Oh wow, he went... His face went serious. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. God, shut up, Payne. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. What really, really happened, you mean? But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further. Wait, what? I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. But my fault that Doug Swallow is dead. Ooh? What? So that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore? Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. Ah, there we go. Oh. Wait, but it didn't seem like he died. It just looked like he pushed him down. Even Payne's sweating. Eesh. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think that I was a murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. I'll be okay, it'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it, he really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. What the shit? I don't get why he goes on about his hemorrhoids. When I pushed the victim. The guy he was talking bad about Dolly. Oh, pardon me. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. Ah. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Okay, so when I push the victim... What would lead to more info? Talking bad about Dolly. His temper gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. What was this loud noise? A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. I think I know. Yeah. I think it was the umbrella. Because you could see it in the crime scene photo. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Right. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been... Yes, could it have been... Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. There we go. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kinda like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well, of course it's important. He says he fell onto the umbrella, but in the crime scene photo, it's not under him. It's in the background. This is it, Mia, the new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Huh, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. What a dick. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. You got it. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. In which case, why is it over there and not underneath him? Ding ding. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right! The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Oh my god, his hair. Did he lose it? Order, order, order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Oh, his hair's starting to come undone. Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Ah, there we go. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But... I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! Poor Pain. Poor guy. However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Hey, got added. Nice. Well done, Mia. Uh-oh. He's back to his old self. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Ooh. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean... Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? Oh. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Ooh. Suave. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I don't know. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh. April 11th, 11:52. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 3. My thoughts so far? Well, it's another Ace Attorney game, so it's incredible. Plus, I've recently been watching the show, so it'd be interesting to see how different it is from the game. Or, like, how different from the show the game is, I mean. Because the game's obviously going to be more in-depth with the trials, whereas the show condenses it to, like, 50 minutes. Either way. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious, after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me, I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh, what do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life. Huh. Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Damn. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side, anyway. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present, borrowed from Phoenix Wright. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Ooh, okay, I do like the music of this game. This song's pretty damn cool. I like it. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some relationship between these two cases, am I correct? Newspaper clipping added. Ooh. Hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I really like this song. To be continued. What the heck? That's a different song. Sheesh. A really different song. Yes. I'm just used to the ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I think that's a Justice for All song for when you get to the end of a chapter. Okay. Oh damn. We don't have Grossberg or his hemorrhoids. Hooray! Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Oh wow. They're both just like, whoa! It's a girl! What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure, I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. Oh my god. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You were all so nice, I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honour for me to be here in your noble presence. What a suck-up. Sheesh. The honour is all mine. No, the honour is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Ah, wow. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever is on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeney wouldn't kill anyone, I just know it. Yes, yes. I can see why you'd say that. She's gonna be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. I mean, to be fair, she is pretty damn cute. There ain't no lying there. What I witnessed. I've been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeney and Dougie. They were talking behind the building. Oh. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities. Oh. Oh dear. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. But I would never. Hold it! That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit. Wait, what? Mia Fey? Huh? What's this? So you two are... acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once. I'm confused. Was I in like a previous game? No. Well, whatever. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again. Madame Fey. Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. Whew. Right, so what she witnessed. Been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. They were talking behind the building. He got all wobbly and just collapsed. She doesn't say that Phoenix pushed her. Pushed him, even. I mean, it's just strange. Yeah, no, I think what they're doing is making it so it's... I think it's so it's not done the way the game is, because as far as I can remember, the game is... It's like a case that's from before the events of the game, and then there's another one that's further in. So I think they just don't want to spoil stuff with the, like, later game things. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Because the way they did it, they did... Technically, the animation went case 2-1, case 3-2, case 3-3, and then there's currently the one that's on the train, which isn't part of the game, which I find to be really cool. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Show contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never... Oh, of course you would cry. Miss Fey, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. Ah. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It's already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. Although, to be fair, I don't understand why they didn't decide to just go with the same order that the game has. Because, for the most part, I would say that 90% of viewers of the animated series will be people that have played the game. At least that's what I think, anyway. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Yay! So, actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I didn't look like they were fighting, I didn't hear any noise either. Okay. So wait, did she just add 2? Didn't see the moment he pushed. Wait, she didn't hear a noise. Oh! You're wrong! Wait, is it this? The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Boom. Poof! You say you didn't hear any noise, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that. If If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Oh! Yeah, that's true. Oh no, I'm interested to see how it wraps up, but I'm sad because I get the feeling that these cases won't be until, like, the latter half, or, like, really late into the show, which is kinda crappy because that's, like, 2 months away. Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But I am interested to see how they do this, the case that's on the train, because that's one that's not in the game. That's one they made specifically for the show, which is really cool. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. I really want his hair to fall off. Just when he gets shocked, I just want it to all blow away. May I have a moment to answer? But by all means! I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. Oh, she's back to her calm and kiss-arsey self. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up. But it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning. Huh. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. I still love the fact that his hair has wobble physics. Look at that. Wobble wobble. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that totally totally change this whole case. There was lightning. The lightning? Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? What about it? Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Dun dun dun! That would be crazy. Can you imagine? Getting struck to death by lightning, of all things. I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty. Okay, never mind. He really loves to he, don't he? I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. Where? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? I don't know how you say that. Affidavit? And who is this from? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 PM that day. Was it a blackout? All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurs at approximately 3 PM, which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. Ah. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. Uh-oh. That's not sounding good, because if Phoenix pushed him into it, it could have snapped and zapped. Shoot. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it had been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor? I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Okay. I mean, I would say Phoenix, but surely that just screws us. So that sounds like a really bad idea. But I'll go with it, I guess. Phoenix. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 PM, correct? Oh, the sharp noise could have actually just been it disconnecting or something. Not necessarily zapping him. Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mrs. Waller to be electrocuted. No. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. But what's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. Ah, of course! For some reason I just assumed it flew out of his hand or somebody moved it. I'm an idiot. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order! Order in the court! Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could... Okay, never mind. Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation... She said some things that were a little different than I remember them. What the? Of course. Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time, please, Mr. Judge? Puppy dog eyes. Of course it's alright. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colours. What I witnessed, Part 2. Part 2. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. Okay, so now she's trying to say that Phoenix did cause it. What? The first testimony she said he didn't do anything. Suck a dick. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Blah blah. Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, you may proceed with your cross-examination. What a douche. I can't believe it, she's trying to frame Phoenix. Phoenix! Truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. Electrical pole, cable broke, tried his best to run away from him, caught up and crashed into him from behind. So it all occurred in less than a minute. So, we have the student's testimony at 2:55. Wait, so cable snapping and him being electrocuted occurred in less than a minute. Wait, that says... Oh, it can't have. Yeah, because that says 5. So at 3:05, and his watch ceased to function once he got electrocuted. So if the power went out at that was 10 minutes, not 1. Aha! Objection! I object to your crap. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeney likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. The watch. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 PM. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? I'm pretty sure you could have used either one of these bits of evidence and both would have been brought up. Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 PM. I still want his hair to fly off his head. It's just what I want to see. Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? Ooh. The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderers killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Bloody hell. This is nonsense. The real murderer? Oh god, we're going back and forth. Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Yeah, objection! But then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? Of course I am. It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer? It could only be the Miss Cute. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. Where? How can you... Of course they're going to object. The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order, order, Miss Faye. What? I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Oh, damn. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you are... Wait. That was Phoenix! Ah, that was great. Your Honor. But please, I have something I want to say. At you. You? What is it? Please. Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Oh, God. Why do they have to be a couple? Mr. Wright, I thought you said get your ass back to your seat. Ugh. Get back to your seat. Or in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Achoo, achoo. Leave my dolly alone. Achoo cough. Ah, that boy. Oh, Grossberg. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Ah! Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Ah, don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. Oh my god. That is, go right ahead. Madame Faye, are you seriously accusing of killing my sweet doggy? The nick of time. That's a good one. Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. Jesus. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep. Sorry, please, go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. Ah, I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. I should probably read that at some point. Wait, what? 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then... that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. She looks the exact same. Although, to be fair, it was only 8 months. People don't change that much in under a year. Never mind. I made it... God. I made it sound like it was years. But never mind. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she has no reason to friend the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, has a very good reason. Dunk. Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. Bam bam bam. Okay, so how she met Feeny. Oh, it's changed. Woo! So, I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey. We literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. I thought it was her saying that for a sec then. Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. Oh my. How I met my Feeny! Right, I don't want to present anything, I mostly just want to read. The police report. Report on the incident 8 months ago, touch the check button for details. So, location... Suspect... Wait, victim Diego Armando. Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Oh damn. Jesus. Okay. The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you. if this has nothing to do with Mrs. Swallow's case. I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Wait and see, I'll keep pressing. Keep pressing, duh. Sheesh. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I'd come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. Not the fact that you was here because you was a suspect in, you know, a murder. Oh, not murder, but in a crime. Ah, you're a crock of shit. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? It's like she knows. What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is... Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, order, order. This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest form. Miss Faith, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, Christ. I knew he was going to mention his arse. Grossberg, you're weird. You've really lit a fire in my heart. And my arse. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. Why? I don't understand why he blabbers on about his hemorrhoids. The poisoning. It just don't make sense. It's weird. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. That's what they all say. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Ah! What the... Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Aha! Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. As long as I can get through the rest of this without him mentioning his arse once more, I'll be happy. So I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. Left my seat for just a moment, that's when it happened. What I heard, it was liquid poison that lethal just 2 teaspoons. Very special kind of poison. I'm innocent, I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. Actually, yes you would. Because of what's his face? Yeah. He was like an alchemist, as people called him. I object, you knew this person. You actually dated him. At that point. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. But boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seemed you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You. No! Order, order, order. Could it be? Oh my god, his noise. Addiction! May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true, in fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that. Provide some evidence, or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse some young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? Well, she gave it away as a present. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? That's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyse it, they would find a trace amount. Oh. I was wondering if her facade was going to drop or not. Seems not. Which is quite a shock. Order. Order in the court. Phoenix! God, he sounds just like he does 5 years. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Ooh. That's rough. Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... because of that necklace. It's not to keep you quiet. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. Oh, shit, yeah. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Can you imagine how bad that must feel? Or how bad that could feel? Mia, are you alright? The defendant, he's getting away. Bailiff, hurry, after him. What the fuck is happening? Holy balls. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? He's gone! It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be brought back here soon. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it? The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? How terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. It's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Oh my. This is one hell of a first case. Like, holy crap. It's a really good one. Jesus. Mr. Wright, this sort of behaviour is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay, just give back the necklace. Did he give it back to Dahlia? Oh god. I ate it. Oh! You what? You ate it. It was too big to swallow. So I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. Ugh. What the? What? What is he doing now? Your Honour, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. Uh-oh. Wait, why the hell is he laughing? It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. Objection! No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There, it's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. It's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. Hi, colourful room. How's it going? Well, that's how it is for us on the prosecution side too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything. We had evidence. Maybe he'll shit it out. Then we'll have our evidence. Even though I've proven so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I'd like to proceed with the trial. Wait a sec? Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. Oh, that's good, I'm glad. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. It's none of your business. Yeah, we've been over this like 3 times now. I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I'm actually able to talk without having, like, breaking into a coughing fit, which is incredible. Also means I can stream again. Something you need to know about that girl. Last night someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. Could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Oh, so that was left out. Of course, well, I mean, if it wasn't left out, that would give away the entire case. Oh. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed in that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but... I'm sorry, Dolly. Oh my god, this is just going even crazier. Your Honor, this is... the defendant is... Miss Fay, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Fay? If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Oof, god, this is even worse. Sorry, Phoenix. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? Unfortunately so. But that's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact... you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right, the bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. I mean, to be fair, can you blame him for never finding love again? He'd been madly in love with this girl for 8 months, only to find out she wanted to kill him and it was all a facade. Can you imagine how devastating that would be? Oof, you'd never be able to trust somebody. I don't think, anyway. But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. There was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean, that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true. Ugh, I just feel really bad for Phoenix. Feeny, what a joke you are. Uh-oh. Oh, it's her true... Oh! Her true side. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne? It appears that this trial will be coming to an end soon. Fine, I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your snivelling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, hey old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Jesus, what a bitch! Miss Hawthorne, what happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me? This way, Mr. Judge. Oh, God. With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind. But you're not finished. Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. That's a really... I don't know why. That's such a creepy pose. It's like something out of horror. Sheesh. Get back here, you bitch. Can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? Eh? You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. Holy crap. No. Oh, she's... Oh, God. You better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray? Oh, what an insult. Well, Miss Faye, could you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible. You can't possibly... Stupid woman. Ooh. It is the opinion of the court that there has been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Yes, his medicine bottle. God. Well then, Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Cold Killer X. There we go, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X, Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Oh my god, again. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime of the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Duck Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Oh god, I really do not like that pose of her. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime. Including that the defendant, or what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and cut electrical cable. That's when she realised I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. And zapped him. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the crime scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone hold it, or someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. I mean, doesn't it seem a bit weird that Doug Swallow would be holding his medicine? Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? Jesus Christ. She's a fucking demon. That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Yes. I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. Wish you all the best. God. She might be cute, but I hate her. Just because of the whole... well, her whole personality. Being able to switch between, you know, the sweet, good girl that everybody seems to love, and then her actual self that's nothing but a bitch. Whew. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said. There, it's alright, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yeah. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. You must... how much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Is he gonna lose his hair? Lose it, lose it, lose it! Aw. Oh, he is! My hair! It's flying off! Yes! Oh my god, I'm so glad that happened! Oh, can I see the, result? Oh, that is the best result to a trial. Winston Payne losing his hair. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, Your Honour. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honour? You said earlier that you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne knew each other. Your Honour, how we knew each other had nothing to do with this case. Very well. Mr. Payne. This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear... Dolly. That's you. Very well then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Ba-ba-da-ba. Whew. This court is adjourned. Yes! Woohoo! I never even thought about that. Did Winston pain? All I know about pain is the fact there's loads of them. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode on Mount Vesuvius. Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Nothing... Oh God. Grossberg, you're awful. Yeah, my hemorrhoids. It's all he's on about in this case is just his hemorrhoids this, his hemorrhoids that. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know. Could never have said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Ugh, what kind of company must this guy keep? Right now I am studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I guess I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye. A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. Aw. That had a bittersweet ending. Oh, whoa, this is weird. This is cool, though. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned, and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. That is a story for another day. Hey, Turnabout Memories, the end. That was a really incredible first case. Like, holy crap, this game starts off strong. Jesus. Brand new episode has been added, The Stolen Turnabout. It's that music. That music is really, like, really good. I remember, I think it was Rise from the Ashes. Like, when that music started playing, I started to slightly well up at the end of it, because it was just really sweet. And the music, you know, kind of invokes those kind of emotions. Either way, I'm gonna do it like I usually do. Like, the first session I usually finish the first trial, and then every other bit is usually doing chapters of a trial. Either way, that is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.